Hello Culers, and welcome back to the channel for what is a big video on the channel today, guys, because we shall be discussing the return of the new La Liga season, which actually kicked off on Thursday night at San Mamés in that game between Athletic Club and Getafe, which ended in a 1-1 draw. But obviously the main focus for us on this channel is always Football Club Barcelona, and Barça shall be returning to La Liga action on Saturday with a trip to the Mestalla stadium against Valencia. Valencia is traditionally a very difficult fixture for every opponent in La Liga, especially when you have to go and face them at the Mestalla, and that is what Barça are definitely going to be doing on Saturday when they start the first La Liga game, the first competitive game of the Hansi Flick era in that trip to Valencia. And I must add that I am very much excited for what is to come in the Hansi Flick era. It could go south, it could go bad, or it could go very, very good for us as Barca fans. But I am really excited to see what is going to happen in the Hansi Flick era, because regardless of that performance in the Gamper Trophy game against Monaco on Monday, I am still excited to see, with the talent we have in the squad and with the young players coming into the team as well, it is easy to be excited about what the Hansi Flick era would offer at Barcelona. However, that goes without saying that the planning from the board has been a mess. The board, President Joan Laporta alongside Deco and other members of the board, they have made an absolute mess of the planning and preparation for the new season for Barca, because even looking at the transfer window and what Barca has done so far during the course of this transfer window and preparing for the new season, it is clear to see that this board most times it's almost as if they act before thinking of what the next line of action is going to be. It's almost as if they make the moves first before thinking about how they are going to make everything work out, because the big summer signing for Barca this season has been Dani Olmo. Barca has gone out there to splash a huge amount of money to bring Dani Olmo back to the club from RB Leipzig. But now, even though Hansi Flick said during his pre-match press conference ahead of the Valencia game, he said that Olmo joined the team late and he has not had enough training to be able to be called upon to represent the club on Saturday. And now the question here is that even if Dani Olmo was fit and ready to play for Barca on Saturday against Valencia, the major question here is that will he even have been registered on time to play that game? Because even as at the time of recording this video, Dani Olmo has still not been registered, and now it is said that it is because he didn't join up with training on time and he doesn't have the absolute fitness and sharpness to be able to play the game on Saturday. But this all sounds like a smokescreen for me, because I think that Olmo played a very good Euros. He has shown good fitness levels in recent weeks, and the medical, there was no problem with the medical as well. I think the major problem here is the fact that Barca were not able to finalize the registration of Olmo before this Valencia game, and this speaks very badly about our preparation at board level for a new season, which has been filled with a lot of enthusiasm on the side of the fans, because we have been hoping that the Hansi Flick era is going to bring back good times for the club. But with the preparation that the board has done for the new manager, it is clear to see that Laporta and co have made a whole mess of this situation, because even Inigo Martínez, we've been hearing reports that Hansi Flick has been on the ears of Laporta. He has been in the ear of Laporta and Deco to complete the registration of Inigo Martínez, because he has had a very impressive preseason. It is clear that Hansi Flick really wanted Inigo Martínez to be available for the Valencia game, and he has been pressing their necks to register Martinez, and this is a very difficult condition to operate under, because a new manager coming into a big club like Barcelona, and then your preparation has been hampered with a lot of external factors, because you are training all week with a certain idea in mind, and then there is still the doubt and uncertainty on the fact that you don't even know if a certain player is going to be available for the next game. So how do you work effectively under those conditions, bro? That is the situation that Laporta and Deco have faced Hansi Flick with. And now I begin to ask this question once again. Now imagine a situation whereby Nico has even said yes to the offer that Barca made him to join the club this summer. What will now be his situation? Because right now we have not registered Dani Olmo, and I know they are saying that it is because he hasn't trained enough and all of that. He was not even going to be available for the game anyway. But register the player first. which is what Barca have failed to do here. Dani Olmo is not registered at this point in time, and he's not going to play on Saturday. So imagine Nico Williams has said yes to Barca's offer. Does that also mean that he was also going to be living with the uncertainty and doubt of whether he was going to be registered in time to compete in the first La Liga game of the season? Come on, bro. Laporta and Deco have made this a whole shit show. Laporta and Deco have made a mess of this situation. They have been lying to the fan base, bro. Guys, Laporta and Deco have misled us all through the summer. They have filled us with a lot of enthusiasm and optimism that they were going to strengthen the team, with all the statements that Laporta has been making, that Barca were in a healthy financial position, that Barca could compete for all the deals, that Barca were actually linked with competing. Bro, what is happening at this point is a clear indication that we have been misled, bro. Laporta and his cohorts, they have lied to us. They have given us a false narrative of what is actually the situation of the club, and this is the situation that Hansi Flick has to deal with. Right now, it is very easy to say that we miss Matthew Alemany, bro, because Alemany was a man who was a silent operator and very effective at his job. Alemany was a man that knew how to get things done. And this is, I am very sad to say this right now, and this is in stark contrast to Deco, bro, because what Deco has been doing since he assumed the role of full-time sporting director, it is disgraceful, bro. It is shameful, because it is easy to say that Deco has had a lot of financial constraints to deal with, but it is the same situation that Alemany had to juggle during his time at the club as well. And Laporta, for the best part of 3.5 years, he has been misleading the fan base, bro. He has been misleading everybody about what is the actual situation of the club. They have made a mockery of the club. They have made a mockery of the fans, bro. Laporta and Deco, they have lied to us, bro. And if we had to give Bartomeu a vote of no confidence before he was ousted from office, I don't know what more and what else Laporta and his cohorts have to do before they earn a vote of no confidence as well, because the way they are managing the affairs of this club at the moment is quite disgraceful, to say the least, bro. I am really disappointed with what is going on behind the scenes at the club. But right now, we do turn our attentions from what is going on outside of the pitch and all the noise that have been coming out from within the club at the moment to what is going to take place on the pitch actually on Saturday, because Barca are back to La Liga action on Saturday with that trip to Mestalla, bro. And that performance against Monaco on Monday doesn't stop the fact that I think Barca has actually had a solid preseason. The preseason preparation in terms of the playing staff have been decent. Some of the results have been decent. The performances have been decent. And that performance against Monaco is one that we would like to forget in a hurry. But then I'm still excited and optimistic for what is going to come this season. It is actually the first competitive game of the Hansi Flick era at Barca with that trip to Mestalla, and I know it's not going to be an easy game, because games against Valencia at Mestalla are never easy. Whether you are Barca, whether you are Real Madrid, whether you are Atletico, be you anybody in Spanish football, a trip to Mestalla is always a daunting test, and it will be no different on Saturday. And after that shit show against Monaco, I am really hoping that Barca would put things right, because this is a very big game. This is going to be a big test. This is the true test. The Monaco game is behind us. It's time to put that game behind us and focus on what is to come on Saturday, because Valencia are going to be a difficult opponent. I am expecting Valencia, as they have usually done, to operate in a 4-4-2 against Barca on Saturday, and I expect them to also play in a similar way to how Monaco played in the Gamper game on Monday, because Valencia are not a team that actually like to come out and dictate the pace of the game. They are a team that usually like to sit back, absorb pressure and hit on the counter attack, and this is going to be a true test of Barca's progress so far under Hansi Flick, because what we saw against Monaco is a team that sat back and soaked the pressure and hit on the break. And Valencia are expected to employ a similar game plan against Barca on Saturday. And I'm very excited to see the reaction that Barca are going to put out in that game against Valencia, because the true test starts now. This is where the serious business begins. And Barca, we have to shut out all of the noise, all of the distractions coming out of the pitch, all of the distractions that have been plaguing our preseason so far and our preparations for the new season. It's time to shut all of those out and focus, keep a clear head, and try to achieve maximum 3 points on Saturday, because in this league season, it is always important to start positively, because a positive start fills the team with confidence and also boosts your chances of winning and competing for titles when the end of the season comes around. And Hansi Flick will have to name his first official starting lineup as the Barca manager, because in preseason we have mostly seen a 4-2-3-1 formation with a double pivot in midfield, and I am expecting to see a similar approach against Valencia on Saturday. In goal, it is no secret that Marc-Andre ter Stegen, being the new captain as well and one of the longest serving players in the team, is definitely going to be starting in goal for Barca. And I have to add that ter Stegen, bro, he really needs to up his game, because your keeper has to be your savior sometimes, bro. There are times whereby your backs are against the wall, you need your goalkeeper to come to the fore and save the day for you. And unfortunately, it is not something that ter Stegen has been doing a lot recently, bro. He hasn't covered himself in a lot of glory in recent time, and ter Stegen is one of the players that has a lot of points to prove. And I expect him to actually step up to the plate, because he is now the outright leader of this team. He is now the captain of Barcelona, and he has to step up to the role of captain of Barcelona, because he has to make decisive contributions. When the defense is struggling, when the team is struggling, you would expect your goalkeeper to step up and make the difference for you. That is what Courtois has been doing for Real Madrid, and that is what Oblak has been doing for Atletico. It is something that ter Stegen should also try to do for us Barca fans. And on Friday, we also saw the expected lineup that Flick is going to line up with on Saturday for that game, with ter Stegen in goal, with Koundé at right back, a central defensive partnership of Eric Garcia and Pau Kubasi. Now, this is with the understanding that Inigo Martínez was not going to be registered in time for the game. However, I'd like to break it to you that as at the time of recording this video, Inigo Martínez has been registered with La Liga, and he is going to be eligible for that game on Saturday. At left back, it is none other than Alex Balde, and in central midfield as a double pivot is Andreas Christensen and Marc Casado. Casado has seen a lot of game time in preseason, and it is clear that Hansi Flick counts on the youngster, the former captain of Barca Athletic, and he is expected to start alongside Christensen in midfield on Saturday. And on the right wing, it's Lamine Yamal on the right wing, hoping to get his first start under Hansi Flick. And I also like to send a big hug to his family because of the situation that happened with his father earlier in the week, as he was attacked by 4 men. But now, thankfully, he is recovering well in the hospital, and it is clear that he is going to survive that attack. So a big hug to Lamine Yamal and his family. And when Hansi Flick was asked in his pre-match press conference if Lamine Yamal was going to be available for the game, he said yes, Lamine Yamal was going to play. So we expect to see Lamine Yamal starting on the right wing as well. And also just behind the center forward, it is likely that we are going to see Ilkay Gundogan in that number 10 position. And while Barca have failed to sign another left winger, it is expected that Rafinha is going to continue in that left wing as well. We might also see Pau Victor, because he has also been registered with La Liga now, but it is expected that Rafinha would start. And up front, it is Robert Lewandowski. And I have to also add that Lewandowski is one of the players that has a lot to prove as well, because when you look at the whole of this Barca's expected lineup for Saturday's game, it is clear to see the talent that is in that squad, bro. There is no shortage of talent in that squad. However, we also have to admit the fact that these are players that have a lot to prove, because they have not been realizing anywhere near the potentials that they have so far in the Barca shirt. So these are players that have a lot to prove, and I am really excited to see how Barca react to that abysmal performance in the Gamper Trophy on Monday. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. What is your prediction for Barca's visit to Mestalla? How do you expect the team to react to that abysmal performance in the Gamper Trophy game? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. And if you enjoyed this video, please do give this video a like, turn on your notification bell so that whenever I drop, you shall be notified. And most importantly, please do not forget to smash that subscribe button. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça, and I'll see you on the next video. Adios.